When working with thread count, there are two different patterns that we are going to see. The first one, plain, tends to be the easiest for counting individual threads. So when it comes to a plain weave pattern, this is where, if we take a look at this warp right here, it goes under and then over, under, over. It follows a simple over-under pattern the entire time. Same thing goes for this weft right here. It goes under and then over, under, over, same thing. So every single thread count in something like this goes under one, over one. When it comes to counting thread count, what we do is we count the number of warps that go across, and then we count the number of wefts that go along the side. And then to find our thread count, it's going to be our warps plus our wefts. So in this case, let's go ahead and count here on the pattern. I find with plain weave patterns, it is easiest to move in a zigzag pattern since it goes over and under. So this would be our first string, our second, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So across we have 8 warps plus, let's count our wefts. And then wefts are going to be the black ones going side to side. We've got 1, 2, zigzag 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this case, for our black and white pattern, thread count is going to be 16. Let's go ahead and do the blue and brown one to the side, counting our warps first. Warps are the ones that go up and down. So let's count in a zigzag pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 warps plus our wefts. Let's count those up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totaling our warps plus our wefts gives us a thread count of 15. Before continuing this video, go ahead and pause, count your thread count for this 1 inch by 1 inch square, and then once you have your thread count number, go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and work through this one together, working with our warps up and down first. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 warps across. Let's count our wefts up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. To find our thread count, just add them together. In this case, 11 plus 8 is going to give us a thread count of 19. Another pattern that we will see, especially with moving on for our individual thread count activity for today, is a twill weave pattern. The difference here between the plain, the standard pattern and the twill weave is that it no longer goes over one, under one, over one, under one. If we look here at the white strings, it goes over and then under 2, over, under 2, over, under 2. So it no longer goes over and under 1 every single time, but it actually alternates. You could see it go over and under as many as 2 to 3 different threads at a time. So one thing to keep in mind, if you notice, there is a diagonal pattern that moves across the fabric. That is what we'll use to count instead of moving in a zigzag pattern, since the zigzag can be hard to see depending on how many threads it goes over and under. To make sure that we get the entirety of the 1 inch square, we do need to make sure when we count, start all the way over in one corner. So right here would be the first diagonal that we see. We're going to count all the way down, and then you'll notice we haven't quite hit the edge of our fabric yet, and we're not quite done counting. So we'd go back up to the top where this thread would be, and then continue counting till we hit the edge. So it's kind of a zigzag in which we go diagonal back to the top, diagonal until we get as far as we need to go. So let's go ahead and practice counting the twill weave pattern thread count for the black and white pattern. Starting with our warps up and down, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go back up to the top. This here right next to it would be 8 and 9. And then right next door for our wefts, side to side, we're going to count those blacks in the same exact way that we did the other ones. So starting in the top right hand corner, or top left hand, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this one does take us all the way to the side, so we do not need to go back up to the top. So to find our total thread count, it will be 9 plus 9, which gives us a thread count of 18. Let's practice the same thing with the twill weave pattern on the right with the blue and brown. Starting with our warps, we have, starting in the top left hand corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Follow this all the way back up to the top and continue. 7, 8, 9. This one has 9 warps. And then counting our wefts, the brown ones, we have 1, oops, sorry, that's not the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one takes us all the way from top to bottom. 9 plus 6 for our thread count should give us 15. Go ahead and do a twill weave practice for yourself, counting the thread count for this 1 inch by 1 inch square. Pause the video, and then when you have your thread count number, go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and check our work here on the twill weave practice, starting with our warps that go up and down, moving from the left to the right, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 down here at the bottom. We are not quite to the edge of our inch by inch square, so we'll move back up to the top and move on to 14, 15, and then right here on the edge we have number 16. So 16 is our warp count plus our weft. We need to find left to right, so we'll start all the way at the top and then move our way to the bottom. It's kind of hard to see right here. This is a row, so I'm just going to count this as a row right here. So this would be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we are almost there. We're going to go all the way back over. 14, 15, 16 plus 15, do some quick math, thread count of 31.